From the Andes to the Caribbean in 90 minutes. That's the flight time between Bogota and the beautiful coastal city of Cartagena, where my series of videos from Colombia continues. There's something here for just about everyone, from the cosmopolitan downtown with its museums, high-rise hotels, and upscale restaurants, to world-class beaches, and to my taste, most impressively, the charm of the old wall city, a world unto itself. Well, I'm in front of the office of the Miss Colombia franchise, which has produced 2 Miss Universe winners in fairly recent years. And embedded in the sidewalk are the likenesses of all of the Miss Colombia winners, a kind of walk of fame, if you will. But even if you pay no attention to such things, you might recall what happened to Miss Colombia 2014. After the American TV personality Steve Harvey pronounced her Miss Universe, that is Miss Colombia, as the new Miss Universe, she suffered the indignity of having the crown snatched away backstage 2 minutes later after Harvey announced that he had made a mistake and that the real winner was Miss Philippines. The people of Cartagena, indeed Colombia, are still riled up about that. If you saw my video from Bogota, you'll recall visiting the fabulous museum of the great Colombian painter and sculptor Fernando Botero. Well, I'm here in the Plaza Santo Domingo to show you a work he donated to Cartagena in the year 2000 called La Gorda Gertrudo, the Fat Gertrude. She weighs 650 kilos, and people here love her. In fact, superstition has it that you can improve your love life just by touching her. But the installation was not without controversy, because the naked Gertrude is reclining directly in front of the 400-year-old Church of Santo Domingo, the oldest in town, and church officials were none too pleased. However, in the end, the local government said, nope, she's art, that's where Botero wants her, and that's where she's going to be. Cartagena was founded in 1533 by the man whose statue you see over my shoulder, the Spanish commander Pedro de Heredia, and for nearly 300 years played a major role in Spain's exploitation of its South and Central American colonies. That's because much of the gold, silver, and other products extracted from the region, not to mention cargoes from Europe, passed through here. As a result, Cartagena accumulated great wealth, at least for the upper classes who controlled it. That wealth was a double-edged sword because for many decades the city was the target of pirates and privateers who sacked it and caused havoc for its people. That is, until a spectacular 11-kilometer-long fortification wall was completed in 1796 to complement the city's fort or castle. Today, what's inside the wall is incredibly well preserved, filled with splendid Spanish colonial buildings, cobblestone streets, and gorgeous plazas that seem straight out of a movie set. I'm walking along the colonnade of the original city hall from colonial times, facing the Plaza de la Aduana, where all merchandise passing into and out of the city in those days, even in the early Republic period, had to pass in order to be taxed. But sadly, this triangular, unadorned plaza also has a dark history, because until the African slave trade was abolished in Colombia in 1850, it was also where human cargo was processed. In fact, in the middle of this plaza where I'm walking, after each new shipment of slaves arrived, there were so-called ferias, or bidding fairs, where fresh human captives were paraded, inspected, and sold. Which brings me to the black women you see in the distinctive, colorful dresses scattered around the old quarter. You can take a picture of them or have your picture made with them for a small fee, but they aren't merely costume characters. They're for the most part descendants of a breakaway band of about 30 slaves who escaped their captors in Cartagena, disappeared into the jungle southeast of the city in the 1600s, and successfully resisted recapture. In 1691, the runaway slaves cut a deal with the Spanish crown to become the first free African town in the Americas. Today you can visit this place, San Basilio de Palenque, population about 3,000. It's like a piece of Africa in South America, and that's where these women are from. The castle of San Felipe de Barajas is situated just outside the walled city and was perfectly located so as to protect assault from both the coast and the mainland. The castle is considered to be the most formidable military construction ever undertaken in the former Spanish colonies, and that is testimony to Cartagena's importance during colonial times. Well, I've ascended to the highest watchtower in the castle with slitted, narrow windows. So let me poke the camera into the window, out into the wind, and give you a sample of what it's like from here. Not a bad view, you think? After its usefulness as a military installation ended, the castle fell on hard times. Tropical plants overtook its walls and battlements, and soil accumulated in its tunnels and trenches. That, of course, changed as its significance as a tourist venue increased, and in 1990, the castle was listed as a World Heritage Site. But for all its historical importance, the castle is a great place to come to in Cartagena for sweeping views of the city, from the district of Manga behind me to Boca Grande to my left. Well, they say there are two seasons in Cartagena, hot and hotter. And I think we've entered hotter. I'm here in a little bodega across the street from the Castillo, the fortress. And as soon as I finish my Águila Cerveza, which is a good beer, by the way, I'm going to proceed in this humid tropical afternoon.